And there's a distinction here. I'm offensive coaches tend to be more aggressive on like fourth down than defensive coaches, and the entire brand of Dan Campbell is going for it. What I didn't like about the move, because I don't think anybody thought there was going to be a blizzard. Maybe they did. What I didn't like about the move is even if you pick up the first down, you're at the 13-yard line. It's not like you got point. It'd be one thing if it was at the 1. So you go for it, and if you succeed, 14-0. That is worth the risk. But the play design was not a play design. They rolled him out. That was not a design for a touchdown. It was a design to get the first down. So even if it was successful, all right, you're at the 12-yard line, 13-yard line. So what? That doesn't guarantee anything. So I didn't think the risk was worth the reward with a backup quarterback. Again, Bo Nix, I would go for it. I would feel different about Bo Nix because Bo would, by the way, not have pulled up there. Bo would have beaten the edge rusher to the corner because Bo was so athletic and never takes sacks and never takes negative plays. So if you watch that play with Bo Nix, he would have moved outside of the defensive end. He's the most underrated athletic quarterback in the league, Bo Nix. He would have moved past the pass rush and then bought time or run for it. But that's not Stidham. Stidham's taller, less athletic. Again, just hasn't been in this spot very much. So I just didn't. What was the payoff? A first down? I'll go for it because remember, if you lead by 10 in a conference championship game at any point in the game, your chances of winning are 89%. And a lot of these analytic numbers I roll my eyes at, but I don't roll my eyes at taking a 10-point lead at home when the weather's not ideal. And the teams had to know that the weather was going to get worse. I don't know if they knew it was going to be that. But my guess is they knew it was going to get kind of bad. Coaches tend to be, very intense on weather. They're also superstitious. They know, Peyton knew the weather was turning. So here was Sean in the fourth down decision again.
Felt like, man, we had momentum to get up 14. It felt like we had a good call. I think the feeling was, man, let's be aggressive. There's always regrets, I felt like, here we are 4th and 1. We felt close enough that, and it's also a call you make based on the team you're playing and how what you're watching on the other side of the ball. So yeah, there'll always be second thoughts.
Yeah, I appreciate that he actually admit that though, because you have other coaches in that situation who are just like, this is the way we play. No, you can't doubt yourself, can't second guess this yourself. That's the play that we want, and that's the decision that we made. That's what we always preach all season long. I'm not going to change who we are. No, he's like, no, he knows. It probably wasn't the best move. Probably. And it's funny because after that game, I talked about that saying, I hated that. And so a bunch of people yelled at me in the comment section and said like, oh, I can't believe you said that Monday morning quarterback. And it's like, well, Sean Payton regretted it. So it seems like I'm aligned with the coach right now. But I mean, yeah, did this mistake cause Broncos the game? Yeah, because I think then that also then becomes the butterfly effect of then leading STDM to the backwards pass. It becomes a different game. This is what I said when this was happening. I said, you have the chance to go up 10-0. That's massive, especially with a backup quarterback. Now, if it's just a one-score game, that almost feels like a tie with a backup quarterback. And if it's tied with a backup quarterback, it feels like you're losing. And if you're down by a score with a backup quarterback, it feels like you're down 2 scores. And if you're down 10 points with a backup quarterback, it feels like you're being blown out because you just can't score and do what you want or need to do offensively with the backup quarterback compared to with Boone Nix. That's just the reality. I mean, the score was 107. The score was tensive because I know people like, oh, well, he missed a field goal and then the blocked field goal. Yeah, those things happen. The Patriots missed a field goal too. Like, those things happen. What about the drop passes? Yeah, those things happen. Those were bad. Those things were happen. Yet, with better decision making, you still win the game. That's the key point. With better decision making, you still win the game. You're going to have some drop passes. You're going to have a blocked field goal or a missed field goal or this or that. You're going to have the bad weather. You're going to have a slip in and slid in. But with better decision M, you still win the game. And that's the hardest loss, because if the decision M was great and you have some drop passes and whatnot, yes, then you could be like, oh my God, if you just caught the ball, you win. And I get it. But it's a little bit easier, at least from my viewpoint, to just know, I just know those players aren't going to be perfect. I just know it. And it's like, it's a bummer. And I'm just like, that's just the way it goes sometimes, man. And ironically, one of the first times that I really absorbed that lesson was ironically when the Eagles played Shaw and Payne in the Saints in the playoffs the next year after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. And their big wide receiver dropped a pass that like went right through his hands. Then it was intercepted and game over in a game that the Eagles looked like they were just about to score and win. And I was like, oh, I can't believe that happened. And it was like, well, he bought out in the Super Bowl a year ago, and he's a huge reason why they won the Super Bowl. And it's just like, you can't fault a player for just not being perfect, just game after game, moment after moment. They're just not going to be able to do it. They're human beings. And so, you know, I'm watching a game like this, and yeah, I'm seeing some messy play, some messy quarterback play, you know, a rough throw, a rough play, right? Like a drop pass, or this, that. I'm like, yeah, it's clearly not ideal. Clearly not ideal. And yet with better decision M, you still win this game. That's harder for me to accept. Coaches used to say this to me all the time. I don't care if you make a mistake. I don't care if you make an error as long as it's not a mental mistake. The mental mistakes are a lot harder to accept. If you just throw a ball and it, you know, gets away from you and now it's intercepted, it's like, okay. If you make a bad decision, it's like, we need to have a conversation about that. We need to have a conversation about that. You had the chance to go up 10 with a backup quarterback at home in the AFC Championship game. To me, it's indefensible to just not take the points. It's indefensible. And I already shared this clip earlier today, ripping anyone who tried to pretend like Bo Nix wasn't an important part to this team. And I made the clip, you know, with first things first and whatnot. And I'm going to talk about it again later when they do an updated first things first clip later in the day. So I won't hash that all out, but I will just say, we can all stop pretending like Bo Nix is not super important to this team. And it upsets Patriots fans. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to tell the truth as I see it. To think that Bo Nix is not the difference of 3 points in this game, I'm sorry. You're delusional. You're absolutely pos, because then someone said like, oh, but they would have to think that the Patriots wouldn't have changed their game plan if it was Bo Nix. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, you know, like I don't know what to tell you, man. Stop undervaluing and devaluing Boix to this team. Stop undercutting this man right here. Stop pretending like it doesn't matter. If the Patriots rolled the Broncos, then we could talk, because the 49ers are like, oh, if Brock Purdy didn't get injured. It's like the Eagles were swarming in that NFC Championship game. They were getting to the corner. Like Brock Purdy got hurt because the Eagles' defensive line was just dominating the 49ers, which is why they knocked out multiple quarterbacks. So, no, you can't just say, oh, well, Brock Purdy played, we win that game. It's like, that's a lot harder of a sell. A lot harder of a sell. When the Patriots win 10-7 and your backup quarterback has a fumble and a terrible interception, that I'm like, I can make a better throw than that. Or a moment where you use your legs and you're like, I could pick up that conversion with my legs. What are you doing right now? Yeah, it's hard not to imagine that man wouldn't have made a difference. I know it's such a reach on my part to imagine that quarterback who's been awesome in every playoff game he's played. He's 2 for 2 in being awesome in playoffs. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He was awesome against the Buffalo Bills even though they got rolled. He was awesome, and he was awesome against the Buffalo Bills. To think that there's no chance that he would have been awesome against the New England Patriots. You are delusional. If you doubt that, you are delusional. Don't know what to tell you. So, it's a tough loss, because even despite all of that, still could have came away with the win. And Sean Payton knows it. It's why he's gutted. He knows it. He absolutely positively knows it. No question. He knows it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Denver Broncos coming up short against the New England Patriots 107.5 perfect weather game? Half. Absolutely don't even know what I was even able to see. I still don't even know where they are on the field right now. I still don't know. Players literally phasing in and out of existence. Just crazy. But let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next.